Hey everyone, welcome to a video where I'm going to be doing a voiceover on a throwback to a Fringe or Bangs haircut video I did. So first thing is with the sectioning. The best way for doing this, especially if you're doing it at home, which I say do at your own risk, is to find kind of the corner of your eyebrow. And by creating a split, you can actually hold the hair and push up and the hair will literally split. I do suggest doing this on damp hair. It's a little bit easier to comb, and I would suggest taking a triangular parting from the top of the head. And all you need to do is use the tip of the comb. I do sell my own combs on my website, shop.thesalonguy.com, and use the tip of the comb like a pencil. The further back you create the triangle or the point, the heavier the bangs are going to be. So I'd say that's a good starting point, not totally back to the top of the head. Now we're ready to cut. So what you want to do is you want to realize that when you cut a fringe or bangs, when they're wet, they're going to spring up. So I always suggest leaving them an inch longer than what you want them. So I'm holding the hair with my hands. Again, obviously doing this as a professional is much easier. And I'm literally just cutting the hair straight across. So you can also even use the comb. You can comb the hair all the way straight down and cut with the comb instead of using your hands or your fingers. But the key here is just making sure you're establishing like a solid length. I know you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, like that's covering my eyes, but trust me, when the hair will dry, it will shrink up. If you do want to cut it a little bit shorter, you can. Now, see that little corner? I'm actually going to cut that corner off because that is going to allow the hair to sweep over much easier. And I do that on both sides. So this is for somebody who's looking for more of a sweeping fringe. So you can see the corner, and I'm literally just cutting that corner off. Now, mind you, this is also great if you're a professional or you're doing this on somebody else. I mean, this is a great technique. And I used to have people that would travel just to have bang trims from me because of the technique that I do. So now I'm just checking to make sure it's even Steven is what we're going for. And cutting that corner off will allow the hair to sweep over. Trust me when I say this, it seems crazy, but it allows the hair to sweep. Here is the magic part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with that on that one side, and I'm going to over direct and pull the hair all the way over to that one first corner, let that base drop, and we're cutting off the weight right there. Now, I'm going to take my next section and comb all the way over to that corner once again. And there's that weight. We're going to take this and once again comb all the way over. Yes, bring it all the way over to that one side, and we're going to cut off that weight right there. That's it. Okay, now, this is the fun part. We're going to do the same exact thing on the other side. So now, we're going to over direct, and we're going to cut that one section, and look at all that weight. We're going to chop that weight right off, that little piece. Take your next section. You can even do the whole thing in one shot. Bring it all the way over to the other side now where that guide is. And there's that little corner, that little weight right there, and we're going to snip that right off. Now, what we've done is we've created some nice balance, and I'm going to hold the hair straight up like this. There's that little piece in the middle, that weight right there, and we're going to snip that. Even though it's a little bit, we're literally going to snip it. So now, watch what happens here. Watch the magic, and look what happens. So we're now going to be able to sweep the hair all the way over. Look at this. Look at how nice it sweeps over simply because we cut that little corner off, and it allows the hair to move into itself. If you keep that corner right there, it's actually going to prevent the hair from sweeping over. Here's the great part. You can now do this to the other side as well. So you can sweep the hair over to the other side, and look how nice that looks. So it's going to allow you to really get that maximum sweep, and we're good to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut a shorter version of this. So let's just say you want to go a bit shorter. The hair's a little bit too long. This is where you can use the comb as your fingers in a sense. So we're going to go much shorter on here, all right? But you still want to keep the hair longer. So you can easily lock this in yourself by using the comb, and we're going to cut straight across. And you can see how the comb is acting as like a ruler almost, okay? So this is if you want a much shorter, more wispy, textured kind of fringe here. And we're going to, bring this up a bit. So you can do the same technique that I did on the other side. On the longer fringe. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to layer this a bit more. And I'm simply going to just, because we cut it much shorter, I'm going to layer that whole section right there. And we're just removing weight, so the hair is going to have a much better flow to it. Okay? So all that hair up there is it's a bit longer, and that's what's giving it that weight. So even though it looks heavy, by creating layers on the fringe or the bang area, it's actually something really, really unique. Now, if you have really thick hair, this is where this comes in handy. Look at the piece I'm taking. I'm taking a little chunk right there, and I'm going to thin out that thick area right on the ends right there. This is if you have straight hair only. I would suggest only on straight, not curly hair. But you've got really thick hair. What this is doing, it's thinning out the ends of the hair so it's not so heavy. This is how you're going to get a more wispy type of fringe, okay? So because it was so bulky, because it was so heavy, the thinning shears are a great tool to soften that up. And it's already, you can see, it's much, much softer, much piecier. Really, really cool, modern fringe. I think this is a great technique for somebody who always said, what can I do with my hair? It's so thick. Again, don't do this on super fine hair. The layering should be enough. And do not, I repeat, do not do this on curly hair, because it's going to spring up to your forehead. Trust me. And if you do have wavy or curly hair, you have to blow dry your hair straight. Okay, you have to blow dry your hair straight to even have a straight bang like this. Here's another technique where I'm actually going to slide cut on the top layer to remove some excess weight. Slide cutting is a great technique. It's something that, again, as a professional, I say do it at your own risk. I'm very experienced with doing this. But what I'm doing here is I'm slide cutting like that, and I'm just taking out the outer perimeter weight. And that's going to allow the hair to be much softer and a lot more texturized. So if you're looking for a texturized fringe, this is the way to go. And let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this video. If you want to use any of my products, use code YouTube20 at shop.thesalonguy.com. And I look forward to hearing your comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.